Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from AstroladaCom. And today, my guest is my friend, Dr. Krasi Atasio, who is an expert on ancient Babylonian, ancient Greek magic, astrological magic. And we're going to talk about this. And a lot of people say, well, magic is witchery, it's witchcraft, it's negative. We're going to talk about magic that is used for the highest good. Hello, Krasi.
Hello, Wada. Hello, everyone. Yes, I have to make first a big note before we start that we use the magic only for higher good, like Wada said, without violating any universal laws, like afflicting somebody or having bad influences on people. Not at all. We will be talking about the astrological magic as it was practiced in the ancient world. And I will give you examples. I will maybe start with examples. In the ancient world, we find now in excavations beautiful pieces of jewelry, and they are a result of astrological magic, and they were meant to bring protection, abundance, love, improvement of love life, sex life, joy, and mainly also protection. So we are talking about combination of astrological stellar configurations and actually the natural sciences. And the natural sciences is everything which we receive from the nature. We're working with the elements, of course. We are working with gemstones. We are working with metals. We are working with herbs, with essential oils, with our own, of course, powers as human beings, because we have powerful thoughts, we have powerful speech. So, and we do this with the purpose of improving some astrological challenges in our horoscopes, and also bringing protection, not afflicting, attacking, only to bring protection, to bring joy, to bring to support needed aspects, let's say, or some phases of the planets. So the astrological magic, yes.
So people were not actually just wearing jewelry back in the past for the beauty of it, like we do. There was some meaning behind it. What stones you're wearing. So maybe you're having problems with your reproductive organs. You can't have children, so you wear a certain stone and talisman that is created for that in particular. And I've read so much about psychics who can experience the consciousness of ancient times, because we know historically stuff about ancient times, but we don't know the energy of the time, what the consciousness or how people were living in. They all describe that everything they did had purpose and meaning. There was not like now. So many actions are meaningless for us right now. The colors, the clothes that we wear, the fashions. Back there, everything, even the foods that were eaten on specific days that aligned astrologically. So they were
very
tuned, and the jewelry and everything. It was not just superficial. Look, I have gold. It was. I need the strengthening of the solar, the vitality, the sun. So you're going to be. Krasi is doing a webinar actually, that she's teaching all this knowledge of the ancient Babylonian knowledge of talisman making, and not just talisman, but it's sorry, what exactly is it? Can you explain? It
is about the astrological magic, yes, in the forms of the use of gemstones, talismans, amulets. They have different meanings. We made with you, Wada, in 2018 such classes. These classes which we made, it was very long webinar, 5.5 hours, I think we made with you. It was, in this first class, we explained the astrological perspective of the creations of the talismans. We gave very good examples of what you need actually, because the first step is to find your election, to find really good, let's say you need Venus. I'm just giving a very sweet example. You need Venus because you want to enhance Venus in your horoscope, and with this to support your love life, to support your finances, to support your luck, and even joy. But then you need to have Venus dignified in many ways, astrologically. She cannot only be in Taurus, let's say, but you have to watch for the position of the moon, the lunar day, the lunar hour, the hour of the day, the hour of the planetary hour. You need to watch for afflictions. You need to watch for the phase of the moon. So there are many, many, many factors that you need to watch for in order to choose very good election. This is just the first very technical work that you need to do. And this is very ancient. This really comes from Babylon, maybe before. After that, of course, we are choosing, and this class will be more practical, because here I will be speaking on how you prepare your altar, how you prepare, how you do your talismans. Very practical. But we will start with this introduction on, again, for people that will be new to the course. We will be making again the astrological introduction, which is very, very, very important. It's like step number 1. Without this, you cannot do the second. And then, of course, the amulets have different nature. They're made for protection. About them we'll also be speaking. How to work with the elements, how to work with the gemstones. In the ancient times, the gemstones were used pure. Now, unfortunately, because of all this marketing world, pseudo stuff, the gemstones are treated with chemicals, with heat, with irradiation and whatnot, So we'll be speaking also about these details. We need to really work with the pure nature. Also,
when you go to a little festival, there's always like stones. They sell stones, and my kids love getting a lot of different ones. These don't work. Like, should they be
most of them, unfortunately, most of them are treated. Let's say you take amethyst. They enhanced, which it's cheap, which you can find everywhere on every, like you say, marketplace. It is heated to get the color, to improve the color, to have it more purple. Most of the stones are heat treated, but this is just one example. There will be many practical details that we'll be talking about. Also the herbs, of course, how to use them, when to gather them, how to use them on your own altar, so that you really make something workable for you, for your own good. And it will be more practical, but of course, starting with the astrological, it's very important. There is even in the ancient Egypt, they were so familiar with this. You see their amazing jewelry, but everything was talismans. Everything had meaning. They would never use fake stones. Like now, for example, the diamond is expensive, so people would put glass or some replacements. This is, we need the basic, the primal knowledge of in Babylon. People would use gemstones for healing. They would grind them in sand, and they would take them with water. They would use them. There was large use, of gemstones for healing. Even gold and silver.
Paint their eyes with ground
lapis. With lapis, yes. Also this.
It wasn't just let me put on makeup. Like now, it's like, no, I'm protecting lapis lazuli. I'm bringing in the sky into my eyes.
Which lapis lazuli is ruled by Venus, of course.
Is it?
I think it has, it would, because of the very dark blue color, it will have some certain influence too, but it's mainly Venus. Lapis was, So also, the crowns of the kings. The crowns, do you think that this combination of stones is just without any reason? Of course, these were consecrated gemstones put in precious metals. We have to work only with precious metals, because the others may even, not only that may not work, but may turn against you. You know, it is, everything has to be like it was, properly made, in order to have
What if you're
great
not,
connection with nature.
if you want to do some astrological magic, but you're not a jewelry maker or something, is there like simple ways that you can get the stone, just consecrate it and just carry it in your pocket? Because I have talismans from you that are made, you waited like for years for the beautiful Venus combination, and you made this, and I've worn it for 5 years now. But they must, so
Yes.
are there like some practical, very simple ways for normal people who still want to benefit from the alignment of the stars and from astrological magic? How to use
Yes, Wada, I give you example. The great Apollonius from Tyana, my very favorite, he was called Jesus of the pagans. Apollonius of Tyana. He lived when Jesus lived, around these times, you know. So Apollonius of Tyana was healing people, was beautiful. He would be doing magic. He would be bringing people from the grave, reviving people.
Mhm.
Apollonius went to um, ancient India at that time. And the Indian sages gave him, what you think, 7 rings with the 7 lunar days, with the 7 planetary days, 7 different stones, and each of them he had to wear. On Monday he would wear the moon, on Tuesday he would wear Mars, and so on. So there is, of course, way to do this, but again, you follow some astrological logic too, and also the stones need to be not treated and pure, and I believe that the Indian sages consecrated these talismans before. So we'll be speaking also about these amazing talismans of Apollonius of Tyana, but I mean, there are simpler ways, of course. There are simple ways, of course, to apply, like when you have the knowledge for your everyday life, the knowledge of the planetary days. When you know, for example, on Monday, these things I will explain in a great detail, how to work with the moon, how to work with Mercury, Mars, and so with the 7 planets, so that you improve your horoscopes and horoscope. And here comes one very interesting thing I will tell you. In the ancient Greece, the mysteries, you know, people were introduced into the mysteries. What were the mysteries? The mysteries, this was just your knowledge, understanding of the universe, how the life works. These are the mysteries. But they were
like going to universities nowadays and learning about natural sciences. That's what the mystery
well
is.
in the you know, in the university, I don't know if you maybe some more alternative, I believe, school, because in the universities, the mainstream university is, I think, totally different. But I mean, they were introduced into the mysteries by their guru. I mean, sage, and this would happen in a temple, on a sacred place. But why? There was one single purpose. I was amazed when I learned why. Because they wanted to overpower their horoscopes. Because with knowledge, you will not be dependent on all these difficult, challenging aspects in your horoscope, because you have knowledge to work with them. This is why you work with the planets. You make your connection you become one with nature. You work in harmony with the planets, with nature, with the plants, with everything around you. This is astrological magic. But when you apply astrology, then it becomes very, very powerful, and people had this knowledge.
So someone like me who has a very weak Jupiter, for example, how do I strengthen it without doing anything complicated, without forging jewelry? Give me an example. That would be Thursday.
What very, very basic, of course, would be to wear a very good untreated gemstone ruled by Jupiter, which would be yellow sapphire. It is quite rare to find yellow sapphire untreated, but you can wear citrine. Again, has to be untreated, otherwise it's like to wear a glass, nothing. And then you just, it is like the Indians in the Vedic astrology, they wear the stones without consecrating them, and they still have power. So in your horoscope, I would say, if you're not interested really in applying astrological magic, I would say Wada, wear citrine or wear beautiful ring with yellow sapphire. But of course, when you apply the astrological knowledge to it, and when you use the right momentum, to create, to consecrate such jewelry, this is more powerful. Yes, you will benefit from Master Bin Sadhguru has one very great chapter, by the way, and he's saying, I think I was speaking with you about this before when there was the situation with the disease. He was saying that the yellow sapphire in its pure form can heal you from infections, from viruses, solely when you wear yellow sapphire. Example, the power of the stones. Of course, they are powerful even without consecration, but imagine when you add consecration, when you add the herbs, when you add the essential oil, when you add your own power, this is already another story.
Can I ask you something? Because I've studied the Vedic astrology a bit, and the stones, for example, for certain ascendants, they would not recommend stones. For example, if you're a Libra ascendant, they'll say don't wear a Jupiter stone because Jupiter rules your 6th house of illness. And so is there something that we have to be careful, for example, for like I gave you this example, if you're Libra rising, but you have a weak Jupiter, you want to strengthen it, but Jupiter rules your 6th house, would that be dangerous?
I am familiar with this logic of the Vedic astrologers. Could be. I will give you another example. It's very interesting what to avoid, really. Yes, I'm familiar with this. Again, this depends also how really Jupiter is placed. At other aspects, you have to look at any case individually. This I'm certain about. But I'll give another example. Let's say the person has very weak Saturn, fallen in Cancer, afflicted, heavy Saturn, and this person suffers from this Saturn for sure. No doubt, you know this, no doubt. But then what you would recommend? Saturn talisman, I would say this is very, very sensitive case. If you recommend Saturn talisman to person with very bad Saturn, such talisman can go against him, because obviously this person is not familiar with discipline, with some features which are typical for the fallen Saturn, and then you can even harm him or her. But if you see that the person already understood the placement of this Saturn, understood how to work on this, if the person already is awake, is learning discipline and morals and time orientation, then you can recommend this Saturn, because he will have in mind to be careful, to follow moral values, which Saturn loves, never to deviate from the truth, and so on. So see, these are cases, every case is very unique, and you cannot judge only, oh, Saturn is fallen, I cannot give. It depends. So you have to watch for every single detail.
So sorry, I'm changing a bit the topic, but you said something very interesting, that Saturn is moral, sticking to the moral. So it means if you have a strong, good Saturn, you're a very moral person who would not lie and would be virtuous. It's not Jupiter we'll look at.
See, I think Saturn is, and this is also in the astrology of the master being Sadhguru. Lie. Saturn is ruling. People with good Saturn, when they give word, Wada, they would keep it no matter what. good Saturn people. If before, in the beginning, when I started with astrology, I was thinking, oh, Capricorn ascendant, these are, oh, what? But actually, these are people, especially if Saturn is good, who keep their word, who would have very high morals towards themselves towards the others, who would be very disciplined,
Mhm.
strong,
So
people that responsible.
in Vedic astrology, Saturn is the planet of achieving spirituality, spiritual liberation, because Saturn is the planet that will allow you to be sannyasi, a strong Saturn. Sannyasi is someone who is not tempted by the world and or lives in the world, but can reject the temptations of the world and uh, almost like a hermit, live in the world of temptations, but like a hermit. And that's morality, and that's attainment of spiritual worlds. And they said if you have a weak Saturn in ancient Vedic astrology, you cannot achieve spiritual liberation, basically. That's why actually even they would say it's people with Saturn conjunct the moon, one of the hardest conjunctions, have an
Yes.
opportunity to achieve great spiritual heights because their life sucks so much anyway. So they can't get joy from natural, from normal material life. So they turn spiritually, and they are very consistent and persistent and can attain higher states of consciousness in this lifetime. So this is wonderful to hear because we always vilify Saturn. Oh,
Oh, but
oh,
here is the thing. This is when you know your horoscope, exactly like the mysteries in ancient Greece. When you know your horoscope, you already know what to do with your weak Saturn, let's say. You know what to do. You will then watch out for these particular things, be more careful. Um, and then you already like overgrowing your horoscope. But this can happen only with knowledge.
mhm. And won't God rise be above it all rather than like how is astrological magic helping us if isn't God above everything? Or is this a means that God has left us?
Oh, God is above everything. You are harmonizing with nature. You are not, you are working in harmony with the creation of God. You are
Okay.
creator yourself because you're a child of God. This is absolutely in harmony with the creator, the one, and only. And this is in harmony with nature. You are not going against the creation of God. You're with it.
Okay, so you are using the creation of God to connect
Absolutely.
connect to enhance it. I mean, some people can directly connect to God. There is direct experiences of the divine and mystical experiences just because they're something happens, they're in big suffering or they call out to God. But these are more like practical and more grounded ways every day to enhance your vibration to be more aligned.
Just you as part of nature. Natural sciences create, this is the creation of God. Yes, yes, and very practical, yes. To make your life easier and more joyful, and so that you have more faith, belief in yourself, because um, yes, but this is about really connecting with the real, with the real energies.
And I remember reading also our master Bin Saduno, who lived 100 years ago, and he said every day has foods because Monday is the moon day, Tuesday is Mars day. And he gave for every day, if people eat those foods, they'll be more aligned to the energies because different organs are ruled by different planets. And for example, on Thursday, which is Jupiter day, the organs ruled by Jupiter will be most active. So you need to eat Jupiter foods on Thursday. So he gave for Monday for people, especially the moon is kind of a bit of the womb and the liquids in the body and the breast and the stomach. And he gave for Monday for people to eat cucumbers, watermelons, dairy, because they're moon ruled, this very juicy lettuces, very watery. For Tuesday, he said, so this is one type of astrological magic. For Tuesday, he
Absolutely, it is absolutely.
spinach and anything rich in iron and a bit spicier onions, garlics, red peppers, radishes. For Wednesday, he gave foods, Mercury foods, lentils, small little things, for example, I remember, I forgot what other things were Mercury root, but some other vegetables and legumes a lot. Then on Thursday, Jupiter foods were purple color foods like plums and I have to check again what it is. For Friday was Venus foods, peas, apples, strawberries, something red, pink, a bit more sweet. And for Saturday,
Exactly.
Saturn foods like beans, walnut. So I always tried, I was eating for a bit like that. Saturday, I always made bean soup, some walnuts to strengthen Saturn. And Sunday is the solar foods, oranges, yellows, golds, and so on. But that
And you wear the colors, of the day.
So that's another very simple, practical way, isn't it?
Yes, it's a matter of knowing this, and you can apply it every day.
So you'll be teaching, Krasi will be
Yes.
teaching simple, practical astrological magic on the 6th of May, which is the lunar eclipse, because magic is powerful in eclipses, isn't it, Krasi?
We said, let's use the eclipse. This will be beautiful. Why to describe the eclipse always as something dramatic? No. This eclipse will be very good for us.
Yeah, so it's not dangerous. Why did the witches of the past, let's say not witches, but why did they use dark moon to when we astrologers, dark moon is dangerous time, and eclipses to do astrological magic? What is it about those moments?
Let's not say it now, Wada, this in particular. We will speak about this in the course, especially about the black moons.
Okay. So there is a discount, 30%. It's only like, what is it? $40 for this webinar, which is a few hours. I'm not sure, I forgot, but it's like if you want the discounted price, you can order it till April 21st. And after that, it rises up. But if you want to join Krasi for this webinar, and I'll be there as well, to learn about those hacks. Well, not say hacks, this is ancient knowledge. I should be more respectful towards this knowledge. It's not hacks like the modern times hacks for this, hacks for that.
Oh, no.
No. But aligning to the natural cosmic cycles and how to use nature and God's created nature and minerals and time and everything, the natural sciences to align yourself. So thank you so much, Krasi. Thank you.
Thank you, Wada. Thank you, everyone.
It was a short one. We just wanted to present a little bit about this ancient knowledge and the course. And soon Krasi will be back with her May predictions for each of the 12
eclipses.
Eclipses. Yes. Fun times. Thank you, Krasi. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Wada.